And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Friday edition of our show. And got a lot of people on today. Some nice weather out. I like a little bit of the clouds. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. On our show today, we have Mayor Carol Moore will be here today. Give us an update of what's going on with the City Council. Also, Dan will be here, Dan O'Weller from Sterling Financial Advisors, and is going to be talking about well, some of the pitfalls when you're doing your taxes, particularly as it relates to your IRA distributions and kind of all other things that could maybe trigger some red flags with the tax people. We don't want that to happen. And we have Dr. Kim coming in from Memorial Care. And Dr. Kim is orthopedic surgeon, and we're going to talk about that program over at Saddleback Medical Center. There are no meetings today to speak of, so we'll get right to the weather and some clouds out there this morning. We're going to look at probably a mostly cloudy day. As we go through the day, the clouds will become a little bit higher clouds. If you're watching us in the morning, they're right now we're kind of almost like fogged in a bit. And those will dissipate somewhat, but we're looking at a decent amount of clouds out there today. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and mild. Same thing with Sunday. We'll start to get a little more clouds in on Sunday. Monday, as I said, there is still a chance of morning drizzle coming in. Right now, for this area, we're looking at maybe 10%, if that. But more central and northern California, looking at a little rain coming in for those areas. But for us, Orange County, maybe North LA County, Ventura County, they're up to about a 50% chance, but for us, about a 10% chance on Monday. Tuesday, we'll start to see clearing up. And by the way, as we get into next week, we're going to have some warmer days ahead, upper 70s, as we get to Wednesday and Thursday. Here we are around the state, so a little bit of rain in the North Coast and the Bay Area. It'll move its way down here, but again, this is not much of a big system. In fact, if you look at Lake Tahoe, Mammoth area, they are really not even looking at any snow coming out of this. I mean, maybe a tiny bit, but there's not even snow in the forecast for them. So that tells you this isn't a big system. So, but mostly cloudy up in those areas. Everywhere else, we're looking at for the weekend, we're looking at pretty sunny skies and some nice, pleasant weather. San Diego, 72 is our average for the weekend. Palm Springs, 73. And even up there in Big Bear, we're looking at 51. So actually what's going on out there? I think it looks, is somebody fishing out there at our little, that's our little pond out there. And wait a second. Wait. Who is that? Is that Lisa? Hey, how you doing out there? I wonder if she's catching anything, folks. Wait a minute. I need to get out. I need to get my stuff out there. Yeah. I'll come out there in just a minute. Yes, I'll come out there. I wonder what kind of we're going out there. I don't know. I got my stuff all ready to go. What do you think's out there? Perch? Maybe trout? I don't know. I know that this area used to have the steelhead salmon in certain areas, so maybe that's out there. I'm going to go out and check. We'll be back.
When other dealers say no, Capistrano Toyota says, yes, we can. Low payments? Yes, we can. Low financing for all types of credit? Yes, we can. Capistrano Toyota features 10 acres of new and certified pre-owned Toyotas, plus many used cars priced below $10,000. When other dealers say no, Capistrano Toyota says, yes, we can. Exit the 5 freeway at Camino Capistrano.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Breast cancer takes patients down paths they never expected, and Memorial Care Comprehensive Breast Center at Saddleback can help navigate the way. We provide multidisciplinary breast care services for the early detection, diagnosis, and treatment of breast cancer using state-of-the-art technology in a personalized environment designed to meet the needs of each woman.
Hi, I'm Tim Moy. I'm your Chief of Security for Laguna Woods Village. I'm with Ray Gross, who serves on the GRF board and is also the chairman of the traffic hearing, which convenes monthly. Hey, today we're talking about golf cart safety. We've got about 1,300 golf carts in the village, and you can see the one that's behind us now. But there's actually a difference between golf carts and golf cars, and there are two, and the Department of Motor Vehicles describes both very specifically. We'd like to cover a few safety tips when operating a golf cart, and this applies to both golf cart drivers and other residents because you're going to be sharing the road within the village.
Since it's unique in this village, you have to understand when and where you can drive a golf cart. And remember, the speed limit is 15 miles an hour, and that's inside the village, not on the main street. Weight of less than 1,300 pounds, no license is required. Any non-resident operating a golf cart must be at least 16 years old and accompanied by a resident. Cannot be driven on roadway outside the village except crossing intersections.
For a golf car, the maximum speed is 25 miles an hour. Its weight must be less than 3,000 pounds. A driver's license is required, and a golf cart is not allowed on the golf course. Now remember, both a golf cart and a golf car must be registered with Resident Services. Each golf cart must now display a golf cart decal, and that will go on the left front windshield. If you're using shared electricity, for United, you will have the yellow, and for Third, the green, and that will go on the right rear bumper. Since golf carts share the road with other larger vehicles, such as delivery trucks, larger platform vehicles, it's very important to become a defensive driver and be aware of a few basic safety tips to ensure your safety. Many guests and non-residents can get a little turned around in the village, I think you all know that, and may be looking at street signs, cul-de-sacs, and addresses, and are not necessarily looking at the roadway. So when I use the term defensive driver, I'm emphasizing the need to be alert of your surroundings and assume that those on the road don't necessarily see you. A defensive driver will show extra caution. They will pause before entering an intersection, make eye contact if possible, and take turns slow.
Since it's unique in this village, you have to understand when and where you can drive a golf cart. Just like driving in a vehicle, you must obey all posted signs, especially stop signs. Our traffic teams closely monitor the stop signs, and for good reason. We've got a load of vehicles, bicyclists, walkers, and of course golf carts are on the road. The maximum speed on private roadways is 25 miles per hour. Maximum speed in cul-de-sacs and driveways is 15 miles per hour.
Talking on a cell phone while operating a golf cart is prohibited. Do not drive on sidewalks. Do not cut through on grassy areas. Yield to pedestrians. Outside the village, stay on designated sidewalks authorizing golf cart use. Do not drive golf carts on roadways unless crossing in an intersection controlled by traffic signals and crosswalks.
Do not drive in a bike lane or a vehicle lane. outside the community.
If your golf cart is equipped with seat belts, please use them. Seatbelts save lives.
Never drive intoxicated or under the influence of medication. Very dangerous. The rules of driving under the influence are the same in golf carts as motor vehicles.
Slow down and use extreme caution during turns, blind corners, parking lots, and intersections, or even exiting a cul-de-sac. Assume the other driver cannot see you. When cresting a hill or driving in the early morning hours or late afternoon, it is important to keep in mind that glare may create poor visibility for yourself or others on the road. Once again, it's more difficult to see a smaller vehicle.
Drivers and passengers should keep all limbs within the inside of the vehicle while vehicle is in motion, except when signaling a turn. And remember, you have to drive only as fast as conditions allow. If it's raining, for instance, it could be quite slippery. Be very, very careful. If there are other vehicles in your way, slow down. Reduce speed when driving down hills, making turns during inclement weather, wet roadways, or when visibility is limited.
The City of Laguna Woods has published a map of the areas where golf carts are allowed to drive on sidewalks outside the village. Now, this map is very helpful for residents who are new to the community or who have recently purchased a golf cart. But just as a reminder, golf carts are not allowed to drive anywhere on the roadways of El Toro, Moulton, Paseo de Valencia, or Santa Maria. If you look at this map, you'll see the thick blue lines are sidewalks designated for golf cart use. On El Toro Road between Gate 7 and the horse stables entrance. On El Toro Road east of Moulton by City Hall and to Mother's Market. On Santa Maria between Gate 7 up to Moulton and south to Gate 16. This map also provides arrows for where you can cross at marked intersections. Those are identified by purple arrows. For those living within United Mutual and use gates 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can drive your golf carts across Moulton to Via Campo Verde, drive up and around by the service center, down the roadway past the horse stables, and then use the sidewalk on El Toro to gain access to the Stater Brothers Shopping Center, or use an intersection to access Gate 7, or even the community center. Using the map as a guide provides you access to the entire community and nearby stores.
When parked, keep your charger at least 6 inches off the ground and never leave your extension cord unattended. If you have any other questions about golf cart safety, please give us a call at Security 580-1400. And remember, let's be safe out there.
I'm a strong believer that there's something for everyone out there. But some people never stop searching. I've looked long and hard through these parts, and I thank my lucky stars I stumbled across a special place, a unique place, where you never know what you'll find. The Trading Post, only on Channel 6.
Hi, I'm Sharon. I am so pleased to welcome you to JTV. We're a 24/7 home shopping network focused exclusively on jewelry and gemstones. And because we believe every woman deserves to be lifted up, we love to help her sparkle, keep her informed, and make her smile. Our viewer is passionate about jewelry and gemstones, and we share her passion. Because of that, she keeps coming back, making us one of the top retailers in the United States. We sell extraordinary products at extraordinary prices. Welcome to JTV.
Mind and Memory Program at Mission Hospital is an outpatient program specifically designed for patients with a memory disorder who have developed a mental health issue, such as depression, anxiety, or paranoia. Patients are welcome every day, Monday through Friday, up to 4 days a week. On-site meals and snacks are included, and transportation to and from the program is available. The program focuses on improvement in overall mood, function, and concentration, as well as a decrease in depression or anxiety. Call today to find out if you or your loved one qualifies for the Mind and Memory Program.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sean Thomas. Welcome to Sports Talk. Come join me here every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. for sports highlights, tournament news, and interviews for Laguna Woods residents and around the world. Hey, maybe even Broadway. It's a beautiful day for a ball game. Put it on your calendar. Thursday mornings, a great way to start your day with me and the Sports Talk way. or even a triple's okay. I'll see you then.
I'd like to welcome the mayor of Laguna Woods, and that is, of course, Carol Moore. And Carol, you were mayor for another month, am I right?
No, just actually a few days.
Oh, a few days, okay.
Yeah, I'm almost ending my term. Right?
Yeah, and then it will be...
Probably, well, we have a vote, of course,
Yeah.
but it's Cynthia
Yeah, who was mayor a while back.
She's been mayor before, too.
Yes.
Yeah, it rotates through,
Yeah.
so she'll be good.
Well, today you've got a few things to talk about, and one of them is the dog park, and how is that going along?
Well, we had a little setback and a delay, actually, but to explain it, I'm going to explain how the whole thing works. We have a contract because, of course, we're creating a new dog park. As you recall, we moved the dog park, and so the contractor failed to perform. He didn't show up. And usually that is a result. Well, that happens with small companies sometimes. Cash flow problems. They just run out of money. Yeah. And the city doesn't pay for things until we have.
Did they notify you at least?
No,
or just
that was another thing.
Okay.
And so, at any rate, but there's a process for all of that.
Yeah.
But the first part of it is that contracts have a surety bond. So even though someone fails to perform, then the surety bond, that's part of the contract. They step in, they're the insurance on the project, so that we still have somebody that's working and responsible for finishing this project. So there's no money lost here. It's a matter of getting it completed. So, but there is a process to it. And the process usually, and it's good, there are rules, but it means a delay, because in one instance it means you have 5 days to show up and tell us what you're going to do when we first discover that they're not there. Then you have another 10 days between this and that. The surety bond did fly in. They were located back east. They flew in, and so they're now arranging to either, it appears, to have another contractor. But now, see, they have to go, the lowest bidder got the job. So the next people will have to be higher than so the surety bond has a duty to find somebody who will finish the job and try to not lose too much money themselves.
So that's their job. So at first, let me kind of get the procedure here. Does that mean at first the city, meaning your city manager or staff, they looked for the contractor, but then this surety bond company comes in and goes, okay, now it's on our shoulders.
They have to.
Okay,
that's part of the process.
Okay,
you're right. I'm simplifying it, but
I didn't realize that.
Right, but each part of it has steps, like 5 days to do this, and then 10 days you must do certain things, and then so probably probably not too much will get done over these holidays. We lost some time there. So what it did was set back the completion of the park. It will be completed. We didn't lose money because we hadn't paid them the money. Because of course that's part of the process, that they have to complete at certain completion levels. They would be paid. So anyway, that's where that is. But it does increase the length of time for those people who are interested in memorializing either a pet or wanting to be a part of the dog park. That wall is, they now have until the end of January for those people, and I hope there are people who wanted to but thought it was too late. Now's a good time. They can still step forward so they can contact
we
the
had
city.
talked about that at one time.
Right. Okay.
Okay, now you want to talk about the audit?
Oh yeah, our audit was just completed. The auditors, I'm just going to read it because it's kind of a formal statement. The auditors found that the financial statements were presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles and identified no material weakness in the city's internal controls. And so the report is dated October 2018, which is also the earliest time that we've ever completed an audit after the close of the fiscal year. So. Another positive thing for the city. Yeah,
very good. And now you also want to talk about pesticides.
Pesticide use. Okay, the city, and what I'm speaking about, I want to make sure that we understand that this is only on city-maintained landscaping.
Right.
We don't control we're not doing that, okay? And we don't control private use. On city-maintained landscaping, we've agreed, first off, we signed on with Brightview Landscape Services, and they have a new weed control, they call it a weed control and integrated pesticide management policy.
Okay.
And so what we're doing, what we want to do is really minimize the use of pesticides as much as we can, not just, but there are specific chemicals that we have banned. We didn't ban a product because these chemicals are found in other products. So selecting to say we wouldn't use brand X is not as effective as saying we don't want to use the following chemicals in our city. And those chemicals are the neonicotinoids, the glyphosates, and there's one other. It had to do with, it's one that stays, it had to do with rodents. And it has a tendency to stay in the chemical, stay in the dead rodent, and then some other animal eats it. So that chemical is also, and I've forgotten the precise name of it. I'll see if I can find it here. Anyway, all three of those are banned.
Okay.
And so our use and our goal is to try to reduce the use of chemicals, find other ways of doing it. If we can do it manually, if we can't, obviously we have to step forward and use something, but that's our goal. So. Okay,
very good. And of course this would be, I know the city itself doesn't have a lot of landscape, but would that be?
All the medians.
The medians, yeah. I was wondering if the county or the city controls those.
We do.
Okay.
We're responsible for the medians. That would be the ones on El Toro and those on Moulton.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Oh, there's the other areas along the edge there, the dog park area.
Yeah, and the park
The
here.
park right over here.
Yes.
Right, you're right.
Okay. Very good.
Okay.
All right.
And then also included in that is the reduction of the blowers. Air quality is a real, we thought we cleaned up the air, but now we're starting to have that problem again. There are more cars on the road, lots of other things, humans doing lots of other things. So we're also in our landscape policy with Brightview is to reduce the use of blowers. No gas powered blowers at all.
Okay, their electric ones are fine then?
They can use, but even those, we don't want to use blowers anymore. Either way, you're scattering and putting dust into the air.
Right.
And so people who have asthma, people who have other breathing difficulties. So our goal is to reduce that and Sherry Horn was really supportive of this. So we have to give her credit in her persistence in wanting this too. We all support it. Anyway, part of it is using, you can use a broom on your own walk. You're not removing with a blower, you're not removing the dirt. What you're doing is putting it into the air. So if you can use a broom and lightly do it, just move it around enough so it's not piled in a conspicuous pile, then you achieve the same thing.
Right.
So anyway.
All right, very good, and been a pleasure having you on for
nice. What's going on here?
Well, we're just kind of moving on, getting ready for the next year, and
I enjoyed your Halloween photos, darling.
Oh yeah, they came out good. So we'll look forward to having probably Cynthia Connors back on as mayor. But it's been great to have you on.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, take care, Carol.
All right.
We'll be right back.
And I feel the warm ocean breeze. I see the waves that lulled me all night. That's what my window brings me.
Look at this.
That view is $1 million.
It's amazing we can look at these kinds of places within our budget.
You don't have a bad view from here anywhere you look.
It's all about the view. Sunday night is beach night. Sunday night at 8, only on HGTV.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cartmart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Cart here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cartmart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
If you have Medicare, you got to get Alignment Health Plan's Black Card. It's a member-only benefit, unlike anything I've ever seen. giving you access to one-on-one health support any time of day or night. Need to schedule an appointment or need it right there? They'll take care of it. Now you can talk to a doctor 24 hours a day. Call them and get a card of your own, and all the benefits you deserve, too.
I'm coming for you, Cancer. With California Protons, I now have the technology and expertise to fight with unmatched precision. I'll zero in and wear you down with radiation, millimeter by millimeter. You won't weaken me. I'll spare my tissues and protect myself against future threats. Cancer, you're history. I'm looking to the future.
Breast cancer takes patients down paths they never expected, and Memorial Care Comprehensive Breast Center at Saddleback can help navigate the way. We provide multidisciplinary breast care services for the early detection, diagnosis, and treatment of breast cancer using state-of-the-art technology in a personalized environment designed to meet the needs of each woman.
And I'd like to welcome Dr. Abraham Kim. He oversees the orthopedic surgery at Memorial Care Saddleback Medical Center. And today we're going to be talking about a hip replacement. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
A lot of advances in general joint replacement throughout the years. I mean, we've seen probably in the past 10, 15 years, the advancements for knee replacements and, shoulder and now hips, and just making things that are so much more efficient, not only once the person gets them in, but also the way that the surgery is done. And that's kind of the key, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of advances both in technology and surgical techniques that allow patients to recover much faster with less restrictions after a hip or knee replacement.
So tell me some of the approaches now when you're doing a hip replacement. What does it involve? Is it going to be done with minimally invasive surgery, and the different materials that are used now? We've got a photo on the screen here.
Absolutely. So in general, a hip replacement involves replacing the socket of the hip with a titanium socket. The stem, there's a ball that gets replaced with a ceramic ball, and there's a titanium stem that's attached to the ball. There's a plastic liner that goes between the ceramic ball and the titanium socket that allows the hip to move smoothly. So this is usually indicated for arthritis of the hip.
Okay.
And traditionally the approach to do the surgery was done through the back of the hip, as you can see on that left image.
Yes, yeah.
It's a longer incision, it's centered on the back of the hip. However, the disadvantage of this approach is that you do have to cut through muscle to get into the hip, and therefore you have to destabilize the hip a little bit more to be able to do the same surgery. However, the anterior approach to the hip replacement, same surgery, but it's done through the front. You can see that the incision, the picture on the right side of the screen, the incision is much smaller.
Okay.
And as a result, you also don't have to cut any muscle. You go between the muscles to do the surgery. So that leads to less restrictions after surgery and a much faster recovery time.
Now, are you using the same joint replacement, the same apparatus?
Same materials. Certainly going into the front, you can use a smaller stem as well to not take away as much bone. So that's also another advantage of going through the front as well. But in essence, the materials and the surgery itself are the same.
So you mentioned that a lot of the times this is due through arthritis, and it kind of explain that, because there's all different kinds of arthritis. In this case, are you having a deterioration of the joint?
So correct. The most common type of arthritis that I see and treat is osteoarthritis, where you just have wear and tear of the cartilage. So the ball and the socket get closer and closer to each other as the cartilage wears down, just like the treads on your tire. And as it happens, the hip becomes painful and stiff. And a lot of patients will notice pain either here in the groin, pain in the back of the hip, and also limited motion in their hip where they might have difficulty putting their socks or shoes on.
Okay, and that's different from RA, right?
Correct. So rheumatoid arthritis, as you had mentioned, is a different entity altogether. It's a process whereby your immune system attacks the lining of your joints, including your hips and knees. So that can also lead to destruction of the cartilage and put you in the same place with a painful and stiff hip or knee, but it's a different process that takes place. But
okay.
Hip or knee replacement could be indicated in that scenario as well.
Okay. Now, as far as a patient that is coming in to look at this, is anyone, in other words, the same patient that maybe you would do the old procedure and can you do the new procedure, or does it depend on that particular person?
That's a great question. I think it depends on surgeon comfort level as far as patient size, degree of damage in the joint. But for me, I do all my hip replacements through the front, so I'm very well versed and very comfortable with the approach. So for me, there's not as much of a difference in terms of the patient's size or quality of their joint. I do all my hip replacements through the front, and that's all I do.
What's the recovery time in comparison?
So in general, the majority of my patients who get their hip replacements done to the front, they're pretty much overnight in the hospital, and they're able to put weight on the leg right away and be able to do stairs right away. They're allowed to drive within a week or two, and they don't have any of the traditional restrictions that most people have going in through the back, which includes not being able to cross your legs or not being able to bend over. So you have none of that. So you don't have to have a pillow between your legs, which is a more, again, traditional approach's restrictions.
Okay. So recovery time is better, and as far as the cost, does it, obviously most people are going to have insurance for this, but is it more costly or less costly?
It's like you had mentioned, the surgery itself is still the same.
Yeah.
So there's no difference in the associated cost to the patient.
Yeah, so that's really great. I mean, we see these advances more and more every year, and especially the recovery time.
Right.
Above anything else, I think that's what's most important to people.
And I think we have to give credit also to the anesthesia and nursing staff. I think, especially at Saddleback, we've developed a lot of protocols to make sure that patients are as comfortable kind of coming into surgery and coming out of surgery. So we're really working ahead of patients' anticipated pain and anticipating the recovery. So we're getting them up and walking the same day if possible.
Wow.
So I think that just gets people a lot more just mentally comfortable with the fact that, hey, I have a new hip, but I can start putting weight on it and I can start getting to move.
Will there be some discomfort, at least for maybe a few days or a week, just your body getting used to it?
Absolutely. There's definitely some discomfort associated with the surgery. What the majority of my patients tell me is that discomfort is no greater than the pain they had before from their arthritis. But that the arthritis pain that they had before surgery is gone right away after surgery.
Yeah.
And surgical pain is there, but that improves every day.
All right, a couple other questions.
Sure.
When people have a titanium joint replacement, a metal joint, do they feel any discomfort as far on colder days or something? Do they feel cold there? Or I've always wondered that if they do, like, well, my hip's a little colder now because it's.
So I think I have certainly heard that phenomenon from my patients. Not everyone, but I think patients both before surgery who have arthritis and after they have their surgery can feel some aching in their hip with changes in temperature or
But it's still probably far better than the condition they were in before.
Correct.
All right. What about metal detectors?
That's another great question. So, in the old days, people used to get these cards saying I had a hip replacement, be aware. But I think nowadays with the different TSA protocols, everyone gets scanned into the body scanner. So the card's really not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
So yes, it will get picked up, but I think you'll be in good company with a lot of other people in line who either have a pacemaker or knee replacement or hip replacement. So it's a very common surgery, so it's not something that should slow you down much in the security line. If anything, it might let you get to the front of the line and just kind of pass it.
All right, very good. Doctor, a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you. And if you'd like more information, go to memorialcare.org/SB joint replacement, and you can find out more information there. Once again, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.
Would you like to save money like we do? I want to introduce you to our granddaughter, Erin Reed, who's a Medicare advisor. Erin, can you save my neighbors and friends money as you have done with Grandpa and me?
Many of the plans I offer have $0 monthly premiums and can help save you money. There are many different options out there when it comes to Medicare coverage, and I represent all of them. But more importantly, I represent you as the individual. Call today for a free plan comparison.
I was unable to achieve erection. You know, being single and when searching for a partner, that was always in the forefront of my thinking. I wanted to find a more natural solution.
Lasara offers the only clinically proven medical treatment that reverses erectile dysfunction without the use of pills, needles, or surgery.
I'm just really grateful to Lasara. This is the best decision I could ever have made.
Call now for the Laguna Woods Special.
I choose to make friends out of neighbors.
I choose to start a new chapter.
I choose to live an active lifestyle.
Choose to experience the good life at Villa Valencia. Call or visit us today.
Hi, I'm Wendy Miller, your Laguna Woods real estate professional. Have you been looking for a realtor?
Wendy Miller helped me through the challenging process of real estate here in Laguna Woods. She was helpful, she was fun, she was professional. I really recommend her.
Whether you're thinking of buying, selling, downsizing, or even relocating within Laguna Woods, I am your real estate professional and can help guide you through the entire process. Give me a call and I'll help you make the right move.
I started Sterling Financial under the premise that there was a need for integrity in this industry as well as quality service.
There's such volatility in the stock market. One day it could be up 100 points, the next day it could be down 500 points. Well, what we like to do is be able to have people go to bed and wake up the next morning knowing that their money is safe and secure.
That's what we try to do here at Sterling Financial Advisors, is to create peace of mind and quality of life in retirement.
Now from Sterling Financial Advisors.
Nice Christmas bow tie.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah.
I want the ones that have the lights flashing.
I should get one of those. With technology today, you barely even need a battery.
And then I'll wear my, what they call the ugly Christmas sweaters or something.
You'll be all set. Today we're talking about something, red flag for retirees with the IRS.
Well, when I sent this to you, I thought, we get to the end of the year and start thinking about getting all your tax stuff done.
Yeah.
Actually, probably you start thinking about after the first of the year, but and then I read the title on this, and it's not just retirees; it's anybody.
That's true.
They put this out for 9 red flags for retirees, but it's anybody that's going to be submitting their tax returns.
And the first one on the list is making a lot of money. So, and
that's a bad thing, right?
That's a bad thing. It seems to be nowadays. But really, the point is, if you make over a certain amount, you're probably scrutinized a little bit more.
Well, I don't know if it's a red flag or they pull it out, but it tends to be that the people who make a lot of money are always looking for opportunities to reduce their taxes.
Yeah.
So in turn, they probably scrutinize those tax returns a little bit more because somebody who's making $40,000 isn't really concerned as much as the person making $250,000 or $300,000, like you.
Yes, So that's that's something that's pretty much always been true.
I mean, the question is do you not want to make a lot of money because you might be red flag for your tax returns? If you can document everything, you don't have any problems. So the where you run into problems is if you don't have documentation on all your deductions.
Right. The next one, which is an obvious one, failing to report all taxable income.
Well, that comes into play like sometimes waiters or waitresses where they get a lot of tip income or something like that isn't reported, and if you kind of close your eyes at that, that's where you're going to run into problems. I mean, the IRS is going to say, what do you mean you only made $10,000 this year? You're working full time and you're not claiming all your income.
And that I can attest that happened to me back in like the late 1980s, and the restaurant that I was working at, part of a big chain, there was like a few people who were not reporting anything.
Yeah.
And the IRS came in, and they didn't audit so much, they kind of averaged out what they think everyone should have put on their taxes.
Right.
And so if you were one who put on a certain amount, you were fine.
Right.
I did not. You know, it's not like I had a big penalty.
So did they come in handcuffs and haul you off to jail?
Yes, they took me to the pokey. Yeah, no, they don't do that. It was just like, here's a tax bill, you can pay it over time.
Right.
That's basically what it was. So taking higher than average deductions, and you know, the key word there is average, because I've always been told if you make a certain amount, your certain situation, meaning, you know, maybe you have a family, you have 3 kids, you know, whatever it is.
Well, one of the other things was charitable deductions.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I belong to a religious church that we tithe. You know, so you pay 10% of your annual income. Well, you get a documentation from the church, and so you can justify why you're doing this. And I think that the IRS can accept those but when you're going out and taking deductions for your landscaping or whatever it is and trying to put it in as a business deduction, that's where you're going to run into problems.
Okay, so again, kind of common sense.
Common sense stuff, but if again, all of this has to do with documentation.
Yeah.
You know, in my life, I was only audited one time, and they actually came out to my business and, you know, wanted to.
Yeah.
I had documentation on everything, and it was one of the few times, I guess, that somebody gets audited where you don't owe them anything.
Yeah.
And so I ended up walking away. I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, if you get audited and there's no change, you kind of say, well, he's not worth it.
Yeah.
You know, we wasted our time with him.
Right.
So you kind of get out of jail free card for the next few years.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard that anyway. So another one is, you know, you just kind of went over this, claiming large charitable deductions. And I guess if over the years you have large charitable deductions, it's not going to be a red flag. Maybe you go up 10% every year as your income
Where you
does,
run into problems with that is where you're donating, you know, furniture or something to Goodwill or something, and you overvalue that furniture of what you donated.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't have documentation on that.
Right.
You know, now Goodwill will give you a card, but you fill in the amount
That's right,
that you feel it's worth. And so if you're trying to say, well, this couch I couldn't sell on Craigslist for $50, so I'm going to donate it, and then you write off $250.
Yeah.
You have a problem there.
Right.
So the charitable deductions, when you do cash contributions, you usually have a receipt or something like that, or a credit card receipt that will verify that. But when you get into non-valued contributions, your time or whatever it is, you know, that's where you run into problems.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you give some clothes or furniture to Goodwill, make sure you're fair market value.
Right. And what we do, usually every year, there's almost like a standard amount that we put in.
Right.
And so there's no red flag. It's not like, boom, it jumped up. And
the other thing that they've done is if your mileage on your car, if you belong to a youth group or something in your church and you're driving youth around to various locations for whatever it might be, you're able to write that off. Okay. Well, again, if you're trying to overestimate the number of miles or what you've done, you're going to run into problems.
Ah, interesting. I didn't even know you could do that. So taking, now I know this is a big one. After a certain age, 70 and a half, not taking the required minimum distributions.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Yeah, at age 70 and a half, if you've got an IRA or 401k, 403b, any type of retirement plan, you need to start taking what is called required minimum distributions.
Okay.
And that is based upon actuarial table published by the IRS in publication 590. So there's the first year you have to divide your balance by 27.4.
Okay.
The next year it's by 26.5, 25.6. And so this table tells you how much you do. Now, more than likely, a custodian will tell you how much you have to take out.
Yeah.
But if you are kind of do-it-yourselfer, you know, and you want to figure it out, those are things that you can find out in Publication 590. But if you don't take out your required distribution, it's a 50% penalty.
Okay.
So if you were supposed to take out $10,000, you'd have a $5,000 penalty.
Wow.
Plus,
and that's because the IRS wants their money.
Plus, you still have to go back and take out the $10,000.
Yeah.
Which creates a problem. So.
All right, we got just a minute left.
Okay.
Rental income losses, and then failing to report gambling winnings. All right, you know, I went to your casino night. I lost a lot of money. No, I mean, it was play money, but.
Yeah, you generally, if you have winnings, the casino is going to be reporting it to the IRS, and generally, they're going to take out their share of taxes anyway.
Right, they take it out right away.
But if you don't report that on your income tax to show them, okay, I made $1,000, but they took out 20% and I got $800.
Yeah,
they're going to wonder why you didn't at least report that on your on your taxes.
Yeah.
So you can't just ignore it just because they have already taken taxes out.
Yes.
Okay. So you have to report the winnings. You know, and if you're like me and you lose a lot of money, you know, you just have to document that as well.
All right, so you got to be careful of all those pitfalls.
Again, as I mentioned, this is not just for retirees.
No,
it's for
not,
everybody.
Except for the minimum
required minimum
everything
distributions.
else is
right. It's just
everyone.
normal that you want to be able to take a look at, and maybe next April we'll go over some of the other things that I think
that would be good.
talk about. So.
All right. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I don't know if I'll see you before Christmas
Staying
or
around
not,
for the holidays?
I am. Yeah,
Okay.
well, we might go up north after a couple days after Christmas.
Good,
Go see some family.
Well, good to see you.
Good to see you. Happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas to your family. And sterlingfa.com, that is the website. We'll be right back.
I just love that ring. Where'd you get it?
I got it at the jewelry box. I saw it on Facebook, and then I went in and bought it. They have the most unique, awesome pre-owned pieces for amazing prices.
The Jewelry Box of Lake Forest, voted best jewelry store in Orange County for 8 straight years, offering unmatched prices on fine jewelry and watches, refurbished to new condition.
Visit us in our store or shop our website for just arrived items.
The Jewelry Box. It's about trust.
This is how we burger, brew, and cue. Pick a town. Arrive hungry, real hungry. Start with a massive burger. Charred, juicy, add bacon, a buttery bun, pile high. Serve it up, wash it down. Creamy, hoppy, fruity, malty. We're not done yet. Q-time, deep fried, sauce soaked, pork ribs, meaty, tender. I'm full. Where to next?
All new Burgers, Brew, and Q. Tuesday at 9. Cooking Channel. Stay fired up.
Well, our movie today, Friday, is The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. It stars Paul Newman and Ava Gardner, and it was directed by the great John Huston. Good kind of a Western, but has a little drama, a little comedy, a little romance, a little bit of everything. Came out in 1972. So check that out at 2 o'clock and at 7 o'clock today. All right, we are out of time, so have a good day, and we will see you here on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.